Demo video number 3. This demo video is going to show you the wash painting technique. So if you've done any of the other two, right, the gradient or the expressive brush stroke, right, these two examples here, I would go clean out your water and get you some fresh water, because dirty water can definitely foul the colors that you're applying to your canvas. All right, so some key features about wash, and you can pause the video now and write these down if you want. 1, you're going to paint around the highlights. This is like watercolor painting. So we're just using the acrylic on the canvas board because the watercolor will not absorb into that gesso. So it's the same painting technique. We're just using the watercolor, we're making the acrylics transparent like watercolor. So you're going to have a transparent application so that the shadows and colors show through one another. And then you're going to blend edges and colors with either clean water or a dry brush technique. So there really shouldn't be a lot of visible brush stroke in this. So just for continuity, we're going to do this and compare and contrast. We're going to do the same apple in this one. With the same cast shadow and warm highlight. All right. So I'm going to start with my base color, which was red, and I'm going to take just a little bit of that paint and I'm going to water it down. We can always intensify the color. It's a little hard to take off. So I'm going to start with my base color and I'm going to brush that in everywhere except where the highlight's going to go. Eventually it'll get blended there, but it's not going to go there right now. And it will stay wet for quite a while on that canvas board. Gesso is basically a white primer paint. So I'm going to take my clean water here and I'm going to blend that. And then pull a little more. So I'm actually demonstrating this on watercolor paper. So it might dry a little faster on this than it actually will on your canvas. There we go. All right, so I've got that base down. Now I'm going to go in and water down some of that cool. And I'm going to blend that right into the red. Now you don't want puddles. It's not Lake Erie. So if you start to accumulate too much, I found a flat brush works good for this versus a round one because it doesn't hold as much water. All right. If you get too much water on it, you can dab it with a paper towel. Dabbing it with a paper towel can actually take some of the color out as well. So if you get too much color on there while it's still wet, dab it with the paper towel and reapply. All right, so I'm going to turn my paper. Add another layer of shadow using the edge of my brush. Take a dry brush and blend it. Now I'm going to go back in with some more red. Because I dabbed some of that base color out of there, right? There we go. Now, if you want to make a brown or a neutral or a gray and wash, you're going to start with complementary colors. So while I've got this red mixed here, I'll just go ahead and show you. So if I need a brown, I can either pre-mix it on the palette, or I can take complementary colors like a red and a green. And blend those. If it's too yellow, add more of that red back into it, right? If it's too pink, add more of the green into it until you get the tan or the color you want. All right. So now I'm going to wash some warm highlight. Water, again, water the paint down. I could add a little white to it if I need that yellow lighter. Go back in with your brush, clean up any brush strokes. Add some more base color anywhere if you need to. But you are definitely using the transparency of the watered down paint to hide those brush strokes and keep the application subtle. So I'm starting to get a little bleed right there, right? Where the orange is getting into the yellow. So I'm just going to take a clean water, go in and dab it, and then take a dry brush and blend that in again. So now you should have 3 different techniques with the notes. We've got wash, we've got expressive, and we've got gradient.